Square Enix. Deck 9. This version exists. Why does this remastered version exist outside of it being a soulless cash grab that still to this day, when I recorded this back in June, does not function properly 100% of the time? If Square Enix were to call the Life is Strange remasters the remake collection instead of the remaster collection, a good chunk of people would not only believe them but would also argue with you on Twitter that it is a remake. If you don't think so, then you are severely underestimating how stupid people can be. Let me be the first to tell you that most people in the gaming industry are incredibly stupid and game companies know this. Why do you think you see so many glorified remasters labeled as remakes? A couple of examples I can name off the top of my head are The Last of Us, Metal Gear Solid Delta, and Until Dawn. This game blatantly rips off the opening section of Alan Wake.
Whoa. That was so surreal.
It was all just a dream cliche.
Now you're totally stuck in the retro zone. Sad face.
The millennials that were writing this crap are like, let's be more relatable to the kids of today and make a fictional character using emoji in a real life conversation.
God, Samuel is such a weirdo. But I kinda like that about him.
Max has a disturbing taste in men. Chloe Price.
I hope you checked the perimeter, as my step-ass would say. Now, let's talk business.
Business?
I can tell everybody Nathan Prescott is a punk-ass who begs like a little girl and talks to himself.
Nathan was doing that before you even walked into the restroom. How do you know that Nathan talks to himself?
Whoa. What the fuck?
Why is Max back in the classroom? Whenever Max rewinds during gameplay, she would normally be standing in the exact same spot from when she started rewinding time, meaning that Max should still be in the women's restroom and not back in class. Also, this game will never elaborate on how or why Max has these rewind powers. She just sort of unlocks it after watching his blue-haired bitch die. Also, when Max rewinds time during gameplay, she's only able to rewind to a couple minutes prior. However, when she first used her power, she was able to rewind from when Chloe got shot all the way back to when she woke up in Mr. Jefferson's lecture. And that was around 20 minutes before Chloe got shot, meaning this game is already breaking its own rules.
And if Victoria's phone rings, this is real.
Now,
shit!
Can you give me an...
I didn't know cameras could square out extra pieces after you break them.
There's no time to fuck around here. Wowzer, you are blowing it. Save that girl. You better get to that bathroom.
Why does this game actively pressure you into heading to the women's restroom if it was just gonna force you into a conversation with Mr. Jefferson just to learn about a quote from John Lennon? This game is basically telling you on the top left of the screen that you can grab an item, rewind, and you'll still have it in your inventory. Remember this for when this game gloriously contradicts itself. This game pulls the Telltale Games and completely lies to you about your choices having consequences. This game, along with 95% of every other choice-based game, is written a certain way where your choices could never change the structure of the game's story or stray too far away from the game's narrative. This is why whenever I play choice-based games nowadays, I don't really worry or care too much about my choices because I know they're not going to matter anyway. Why even give me choices at that point? I would rather the game just be a linear story-driven experience with no choices and a time rewind mechanic to solve puzzles. I guarantee that would still be light years better than Goodbye Volcano High. That game is the definition of the Life is Strange game your mom says you have at home. Maybe you guys would like a Sins video on that. Oh my god, a black character. This game is woke.
Nope, I don't want to go there.
Yes, I do. Fuck you, game.
Oh, sick. You're not a poser.
Yeah, but the millennial writers are.
The Prescott dormitory? Good lord, Nathan's family owns my dorm?
Max has been living in her dorm room for a little over a month now and didn't already know that the Prescott owned her dorm. I have never seen someone move around someone like that while talking down to them before.
Now, why don't you go fuck your selfie?
I'm sorry, go fuck your selfie? This entire puzzle of getting Victoria wet and dunking wet paint on her so Max can get into her dorm room is completely pointless because Max could easily just walk up the left side of Victoria and her posses.
Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Victoria probably played me. I should have played her.
Why is it whenever I make a big choice within this game, Max just questions whatever decision you just made and eggs the player to rewind to pick the other option? Only for Max to do the exact same thing when questioning the decision you just made. Seriously, Max does this every fucking time, and in a way, it kinda feels like the game is gaslighting you. Skip.
You are thirsty. I'm the worst baby mama.
Thanks, Max. You're like the Blackwell Ninja.
The Blackwell Ninja? So if you snoop around too much in Dana's room, you'll find a pregnancy test that reads positive, and Dana won't appreciate the fact that you're being so nosy. After the game attempts to gaslight you into thinking that this will have some actual consequences later on, all this really leads to is one line of dialogue in episode 2 where Dana isn't even mad at you for being nosy. This game literally just lied to you about that action having consequences. Good lord, Deck 9, what did you guys do to these character models when remastering the game? Dana's eyes look like he's ready to pop out of her socket. Remember when this game told you that you could basically have an object, rewind, and still have the object in your inventory? Yeah, well get ready to see how this game gloriously contradicts itself. When Max is about to go to the parking lot, she comes across Kate Marsh being hassled by David, and she has the option to take a photo or intervene. If you chose to take a photo, Kate will get mad at you for not stepping in to help her. And if you chose to rewind and intervene, that photo that Max took is suddenly gone, meaning this game just broke its own rules again.
I'm glad I stepped in that time. Can't stand to see people being bullied.
Max will still say she's glad she stepped in that time, even if you just picked the intervene option without choosing the take photo option first.
Who toilet papers a bike?
Max will be great at video game sims.
What up, Max? How are you?
Here's your flash.
Warren is the definition of the where's my hug at guy.
Max? Chloe?
Wow, shit just happens in this game when the plot needs it to, doesn't it? You don't recognize your longtime best friend being held at gunpoint in the bathroom, but you instantly recognize her here. I know Max was a fair distance away from Chloe and Nathan because she was hiding behind the stall, but she should have at least recognized her voice. On top of that, Chloe conveniently shows up when Max and Chloe are being attacked by Nathan. Chloe's license plate literally says Twin Peaks.
Chloe's stepfather is this asshole from Blackwell? You've gotta be shitting me.
Why are you surprised? You already found David's uniform upstairs in Chloe's mom's room. Also, why is David's uniform in Chloe's mom's room? The fact that he hasn't came home yet means that he's still patrolling Blackwell right now. And he was a security guard that ran to Warren and Nathan after Max and Chloe drove off. Why is his uniform here?
Wait, I've seen this before. You took this photo, you brat? In the bathroom today. You set off the alarm.
Since when did you see a blue butterfly while Nathan was holding you at gunpoint? Why does the I wasn't there option even exist? Chloe just pieced together that Max was hiding in the bathroom while Nathan was holding her at gunpoint.
Now that we got that mushy shit out of the way, I feel like stage diving.
How are you going to say you feel like stage diving, then proceed to dance on top of the bed while smoking? I don't think the writers know the meaning of stage diving.
I'm sick of your disrespect. Tell me the truth. That's an order. Whose is it?
What do you mean, whose is it? Not only is Chloe the only person in the room, but you are asking if Chloe's smoking in here again, which shows that you already know that Chloe's a stoner and that this is not the first time this has happened.
I thought you believed in gun control.
Yes, I believe I should control the gun. It's the men who need to be checked.
Remember this line for when this blue-haired retard ends up shooting herself in episode 2.
He's no match for you and me now. That was an epic win.
Epic win? If you pick the stay hidden option, David will hit Chloe, which shows that he's physically abusive and justifies why Chloe hates David. However, if you choose to step in and progress through the game that way without rewinding to explore the other option, then you're just gonna be left wondering why Chloe hates David so much since the slap didn't occur if you picked the step in option. If I hadn't have rewind to pick the stay hidden option, it would have made it even harder for me to not hate Chloe because it would have made it seem like she just hated her stepdad for no reason. Also, if you pick the step in option, Chloe reveals that she actually did steal David's gun, meaning Dave's suspicions of her were correct.
He freaked out on poor Kate Marsh today.
I know her. She's cool. Only that prick would bully her.
Remember this for when Chloe ends up getting mad at you for answering Kate's call and refers to Kate as some bitch Max sees every day at school.
I figured I would make him pay me to keep quiet. So we met in the bathroom.
Why did you choose to meet David in a girl's bathroom from a school you got expelled from 3 years ago?
Seeing you after all these years feels like
Destiny.
What the fuck? Why did the cutscene suddenly go from 4K to 360p? Deck 9 really had to use the same photo from the original game. Max doesn't even have clothes on when she took the photo either.
Morgan, seriously, do not forget I need those papers before tonight. Like now. Thanks, Sherry.
Since when did Kate's voice actress start voicing Victoria?
Ow!
Who the hell just throws a random toilet paper roll out of a bathroom like that? Dana got no toes.
Anyway, let's leave the link to Kate's video so everybody gets a chance to see her in action.
I don't know a single person who memorizes an entire video link off the top of their head.
Oh shit. Nathan's revenge. Even Chloe told me not to go to the principal.
How did Nathan manage to sneak into the girls' dorm without anyone noticing, not only to write an incriminating message on the walls in blood that ends up turning brown in episode 3, but also place a photoshopped image of Max's head as a human sacrifice on Max's bed?
Kate, I actually do care. So, what's the story with you and David?
Yes, I care a lot about you, Kate. Now give me the scoop on you and David.
How do I get a viral video taken down?
How do you get a viral video taken down? Do you not know how the internet works? If not, that's actually adorable.
I would love it if my mom was mean or bossy instead of sick. But whatever. We've had our talk.
Time to use my godlike rewind powers to manipulate someone into liking me. Wait, there's a school bus that takes kids away from campus before school starts? Invisible walls.
Hello there to you! Such a beautiful day, eh? Oh yeah, it's gonna be a super day. Enjoy your breakfast, eh?
Well, Chloe texted me that David slapped her yesterday.
Max, you already told her that.
I know. Chloe told me that her stepfather hit her.
This entire section where Max has to guess what's in Chloe's pockets and predict key events is literally pointless and a waste of time because Max can easily prove to Chloe that she has rewind powers by just teleporting right next to her. Give me a minute to explain. Later on in episode 3, Max and Chloe blew up the door to the principal's office, tripped the alarm, and after crafting a bomb, Max is able to run inside the principal's office, rewind time back to when she was somewhere in the halls looking for the ingredients to craft the bomb, and open the door to the principal's office while Chloe was still trying to pick the lock. From Chloe's point of view, Max left a few minutes ago to go find the ingredients to craft the bomb, and Max suddenly opens the door to the principal's office. It was impossible for Max to already be in the principal's office because Chloe was still trying to pick the lock. Meaning, from Chloe's point of view, Max just teleported. Max can teleport. Got it? So what's stopping Max from getting up, walk right next to Chloe, and rewind to when she was sitting down while Chloe was still staring at her? Max stays in the exact same place from when she starts rewinding time, meaning in this case, she would have already been standing right next to Chloe right before rewinding time. From Chloe's point of view, Max went from sitting right in front of her to suddenly standing right next to her without watching her get up. Max, I promise you that Chloe would believe that you have powers if you suddenly appear to the left or right of her right now. Also, side note, at the end of episode 1 when Max blacks out in front of the lighthouse right next to Chloe, the game literally straight up tells you that Max can teleport. I'm not kidding. It literally says as you rewind you can move ahead of time to teleport yourself, which further validates my point.
I will predict the future.
Or you could, you know, teleport yourself right next to Chloe like I just suggested.
Kate Marsh from Blackwell.
Big whoop. You don't call me once in 5 years and now you're all over some biatch you see every day at school?
Excuse me? That same person you said was cool and that only a prick like Dave would bully her is suddenly now just some bitch Max sees every day at school? Right, sorry Chloe. I'm sorry I can't give you my undivided attention for 20 goddamn seconds and talk to a friend who's currently on the verge of suicide over hanging out with your selfish blue-headed ass. I guess I should have known that you were the center of the goddamn universe. My fucking bad, Chloe. Also, Max could have just answered Kate's call while walking to Chloe's truck.
David might be a douche, but you did steal his gun.
Where did Chloe even get bullets to load into the revolver? Chloe told Max in the first episode that the gun wasn't even loaded.
Jesus, put that thing down.
Chillax, sister. It's not even loaded. Yet.
On page 29 of Max's diary, Max expresses how she's kind of bothered by the fact that Chloe only wants to hang out with Max because of her rewind powers. Now let me just say, Max, if someone's only hanging out with you because of that one thing, then you're just a tool for their enjoyment and you're not friends. It's kind of like that one friend who doesn't talk to you as much but randomly hits you up when they want something from you.
Although this junkyard is a dive, I see why Chloe hangs here. She's a steampunk.
A steampunk? It is absolutely hilarious when the writers make a character look stupid by having them say something while not actually knowing what the hell they're talking about. Chloe is nothing like a steampunk. She's a punk, but she's not a steampunk. Get it?
Jesus, I shot myself! Ugh, I shot myself!
Nah, Chloe. I thought you believed in gun control, that is the men needs to be checked, remember? The thing that further proves my point is that Chloe ends up shooting a man and his dog. She's more of a danger to herself than anybody else.
I don't know about this.
Are you afraid of getting in trouble? Oh, boo-hoo, Max is afraid.
Are you seriously trying to guilt trip Max into doing more stuff after she just woke up from a coma? I swear, Chloe is a horrible friend. How Max even puts up with her is beyond me. How are there no bullets in the revolver? Max rewinded every time Chloe missed a shot, and the third shot was wasted on a tire before the car flipped over. So there should still be a couple of bullets left in the revolver. But fuck it, logic will only make sense when the writers want it to, I guess. Also, why would Chloe give the gun to Max and tell her that it's her turn to bust a cab when there are no more bullets in the revolver? Come to think of it, why doesn't Max just rewind to before Frank shows up and tell Chloe that they need to leave? That way, the whole conflict with Max almost shooting Frank would have never happened. Oh wait, the creators of this game are brain dead. I totally forgot.
Max! Help! I'm stuck!
How the hell did you even get your foot stuck like that when your feet was above the tracks? And you can easily get your foot unstuck if you take your shoe off.
You saved me again. Now we're totally bonded for life.
Yeah, until the writer says otherwise.
Hey, Courtney. Ciao, Max. No photos, please.
Courtney has the same voice actress as Max Caulfield, which often gets pretty distracting once these two interact with each other.
I don't want to fight with you anymore. I don't want to fight with anyone anymore.
This is going to age well in episode 3.
Bring me the brain, Igor.
Are you okay? You look thoughtful yet confused.
Maxwell Silver Hammer.
Maxwell Silver Hammer?
Okay, why is David taking photos of Kate?
Stalking while taking pictures of someone without their consent.
Yo! Some crazy shit is going down in the girls' dorm!
Why did you randomly run in here to announce to his one class? So if Max rewinds too much, her nose will start bleeding and time itself will just stop. When Max gets to the roof, time unfreezes and the game pretty much goes fuck you and conveniently takes away your powers until you get to the principal's office at the end of this chapter, where the game gives you your powers back. This game loves making up new rules when it comes to Max's power, doesn't it? There's a reason why I say shit happens in this game when the plot needs it to, because nothing like this ever happens again.
I love that you stepped up to David, but it doesn't matter now. Nothing matters.
And neither do my choices apparently, because it doesn't matter how good of a friend this game allows you to be towards Kate, she will not only still weirdly say lines like this.
No! Nobody cares about me! Nobody!
But this game also gives you the Spider-Man Web of Shadows trivia game, and which one of Kate's family members cares about her the most. There are 2 correct options and there are 2 incorrect ones. If you pick the incorrect one, Kate would just jump off the roof and die. Life is strange, what the fuck? So me being the best possible friend to someone can suddenly get overshadowed by the fact that I might not know every single detail of that person's life?
Now, I know today was difficult for everybody, but I'm so proud of the way Blackwell pulled together to save a young girl's life.
What do you mean Blackwell pulled together to save a young girl's life? It was Max who actually saved her. Everyone else basically clowned and bullied her because of the leaked porn video that was recorded at the last Vortex party.
As principal of Blackwell Academy, I take my duties seriously. I take the well-being of every student more seriously.
Says the guy who barely did anything when a student told you that someone was waving a gun around the girl's restroom. This is the second time at the end of an episode where a beautiful 4K remastered cutscene suddenly drops down to 360p for no reason. Deck 9, this remaster collection from what I remember was released back in the fall of 2021. Why has this problem never been fixed? I love how the picture right next to the results of whether or not you answer Kate's call uses the same picture from the original game while the rest uses the remastered version. I'm not letting Deck 9's laziness slip past me.
No way can I clean that shit off. Time to get Samuel da Vinci to repaint.
You still haven't notified anyone about the fact that someone snuck into your dorm room and wrote an incriminating message on the walls in blood?
I think we're all responsible for what happened.
But you're the only one who went up to that roof with Kate.
Why does nobody question how Max got to the roof before anyone else?
Booyah!
Where the hell did Chloe even come from?
I just feel weird about some of my decisions. Especially after I just got Nathan expelled.
Max, Nathan did not get expelled. He got suspended.
I have no choice but to suspend him until further notice.
I don't know about this. We're both already in so much trouble.
You can always let me get busted like you did with the weed.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. I'm going to attempt to say this as calmly as possible. Chloe, that was your weed in your room. You chose to smoke your weed despite knowing your stepfather wouldn't be happy about that. Why are you so mad at Max because you had to face the consequences of something you did on your own volition? You even told Max to hide before your stepdad came into the room, and you even told her that your stepdad would have been a bigger dick if he caught her in your room. You would rather your best friend risk fucking up her own life just so you can avoid a little trouble with your stepdad? I swear, if I had a list of video game characters I would strangle with 0 consequences, Chloe would be at the top of the list right now.
Only a total phony would wear a crappy hat like that.
Who on earth texts that quickly? Also, the photos of the people texting uses the exact same pictures from the original game.
Oh, we are toast! Here comes the whole Arcadia Bay Fire and Police Department.
But there was no alarm on the door to the principal's office. How the hell is that even possible?
Nathan Prescott III. Ooh, he's so money.
He's so money. This must be what excellent video game writing looks like. Excellent video game writing 101.
Holy shit! Jackpot! Cha-ching!
Cha-ching! Not only was Chloe willing to steal money from the handicap fund just to pay off her debt, but if he chose to leave the money like I did, this selfish, immoral, blue-haired prick gets visibly bummed out. Chloe doesn't shrug it off as a joke or anything, and will continue to bring up how Max didn't let her steal the money from the handicap fund just to pay off her debt to Frank. So Chloe, you're basically mad at your best friend for being morally in the right and having higher morality than you? I swear, Chloe is a horrible human being, an awful best friend, and probably an even worse girlfriend.
Betty developed that in Jefferson's class. But why?
Because he has a crush on you? I mean, he tried giving you a hug in the parking lot, he took a beating from you in the parking lot, and even asked you to go see 8 films with him. Forcing a random stealth segment in the game not based around stealth.
Crash at my place tonight.
You want me to crash with a Blackwell security officer I just busted live so I'll be safe?
You didn't bust David, you got Nathan suspended. What the hell is Max talking about? This is pathetic. If I was Max, I wouldn't text back either.
For example, I dare you to kiss me.
What?
I double dare you. Kiss me now.
Fuck you, Chloe. You may notice by now that when characters say, truly masterfully written and totally not at all cringeworthy dialogue, I would sometimes rephrase what they just said with a question mark at the end of it. Well, starting from this point on, it's just gonna get sent automatically on principle. Starting with this line.
Ready for the mosh pit, Shaka Bra.
She hasn't had a good friend since you or Rachel. I'm just hoping she's living large in LA.
Even if Rachel became a famous Hollywood star in LA, don't you think you would have heard from her by now? Why the hell is Max using a hand mixer in a bowl while she's mixing pancake batter when I clearly chose the bacon and eggs option?
Did you guys have a bonding session about how fucked up I am?
This is what I mean when I say that Chloe thinks that everything revolves around her. She walks downstairs, interrupts a normal conversation between her mom and Max, and automatically assumes that they're talking shit about her. So check this out, right? I chose to side with David because I wanted to be open-minded and hear him out. And after making that choice, Chloe will say this.
Thanks for letting me down again, Max. Why can't you just rewind so I don't have to see you defending that asshole?
You do realize David is trying to do exactly what we're trying to do, right? Which is find Rachel Amber. Sure, David's way of doing it is messed up, but the way we're doing it isn't exactly right either. We literally broke into a school at night, broke into the principal's office by crafting a bomb, and read papers and encrypted files on the principal's computer that weren't meant to be seen by us. You're mad because Max wanted to be open-minded and understand someone else's point of view rather than being biased towards your hypocritical ass?
I was eating those beans. Are you fucking insane? I was eating those beans!
There she is, Super Maxine.
By the way, thanks for getting me fucking expelled, you twee bitch.
Again, you were suspended, not expelled. It's like the writers are just too dumb to know the difference. Why did the knife break when opening the other vent but didn't when opening this one?
Why does everybody in my life let me down? My dad gets killed, you bail on me for years.
Wow, gotta love how Chloe literally tells Max, to her face I might add, that she bailed on her, as if it were to say that Max deliberately moved away just to get away from Chloe. You do realize you are talking down to someone who used her rewind power to save your life. Twice. She saved her life by pulling the fire alarm before he got shot, and she saved her life from getting her foot unstuck from the railroad tracks. And even after all of that, Chloe still has the audacity to put Max down by talking down to her. What the hell is Max seeing Chloe again?
I gotta blame somebody, otherwise it's all my fault.
Grow up! God, you're not the only one in Arcadia Bay with problems.
Kinda weird how Max suddenly grew a spine and finally called Chloe out on something when she pretty much lets Chloe bully her without at least trying to stand up for herself the entire game up to this point.
You blame William?
Yes, I do. Damn right. He chose to go out that door and leave me forever.
Yeah, Max, didn't you know that William had psychic abilities to show him how he was gonna die and walked into fate's hands just to fuck up his daughter's life? I mean, it's not like he was trying to be a good husband and pick up his wife from the grocery store or anything. Like, seriously, Max, I can't believe you didn't know that everything revolved around Chloe. Also, another thing that annoys me is how this game doesn't allow you to truly hate Chloe or get Max to. And trust me, I fucking tried. But the game is structured in a way where you can't truly talk back towards Chloe. Game kinda forces you to like or not dislike Chloe, which sparks a disconnect between me and Max.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I guess the brain-dead writers suddenly decided to give Max new powers after already doing a terrible job handling her first power game mechanic-wise. What is Max's new power, you may ask? Well, she's able to travel through time by staring at photos, and yes, this comes completely out of left field at the end of episode 3. Max is apparently only able to travel through time using photos with her in the frame. Just ignore the fact that the game will end up contradicting this rule in the Sacrifice Chloe ending. Also, this game never explains why Max is never able to travel through time using photos before, but suddenly is able to now for some reason. Whatever, stupid game, just keep making up new shit as you go along. Max does a T-pose. First person point of view at critical plot moments. Also, how does Max preventing William's death suddenly land her in the Vortex Club? Yay, the remastered version of the final cutscene of the episode suddenly drops down to 360p for no reason for the third time.
Stop me if I'm being too emo. All you have to do is crank up the IV to 11.
You do realize that Max is going to spend the rest of her life in jail for murdering her best friend, right? Okay, so here's what pisses me off. So I'm pretty sure by this point in the video, I've basically gotten the message across how much I absolutely detest blue hair Chloe from the other timeline, right? I've described my feelings toward blue hair Chloe as me wanting to strangle her, and not in a sexual way. Well, ironically enough, this Chloe is a much better character and a much better person than blue haired Chloe. If I had a list of video game characters I would hug, crippled Chloe would definitely be somewhere on that list. What can I say? I love crippled Chloe. She doesn't blame everyone else for her goddamn problems. She's not willing to throw other people under the bus for her problems. She's actually nicer to Max. She's not as needlessly judgmental. She doesn't believe the entire world revolves around her, and she's not ungrateful or as selfish as blue-haired Chloe. To put it simply, crippled Chloe is a better person than blue-haired Chloe in every possible way. When Max put down crippled Chloe, I was genuinely sad for two reasons. One, I love crippled Chloe. To me, she's genuinely a sweet person, and I really wish I spent more time with her. Two, unfortunately, that's not what the writers wanted, because I'm forced to give up crippled Chloe to go back to blue-haired Chloe. Fuck blue-haired Chloe. All my homies hate blue-haired Chloe. What is the point of the I don't know option if the game's just gonna force you to pick the other two options anyway?
Since we were up all night playing CSI Arcadia Bay, I was still spaced out here trying to put all this info together.
Wait, Max spent the night in Chloe's room? At the end of the last episode after leaving Frank's RV, Chloe took her anger out on Max and drove her back to her dorm room. How the hell did Max spend the night in Chloe's room? And Max should still be wearing Rachel's outfit because Max's outfit was soaked with chemicals last episode.
I tried to help Kate.
You did, Max. You saved her life while I left the goddamn dorm roof wide open.
Yeah, about that. David, you were right in front of the girls' dorm in front of everyone when Max froze time. What the hell took you so long to get to the roof?
Yo, Chloe! I have to get back to my dorm!
But I absolutely have to go see Kate in the hospital right now.
It is absolutely amazing how much this game's writing contradicts itself.
I thought I'd never see you again.
Why? You thought the person that helped you come down from the roof was never going to come and visit you? Besides, since you two go to the same school, you two would have seen each other again.
I'm going to be here for another day until my family comes out to visit.
Excuse me? It's been 2 days since you attempted suicide and your family hasn't come out to visit you in the hospital?
Be seeing you.
Yes, you will. Hot for teacher.
Chloe's inexplicable crush on Mark Jefferson. Wait a minute, this area is literally just the girls' dormitory all over again. It even has the same layout and everything. What's worse is that when Max and Chloe enter the dorms, they're suddenly in the boys' dormitory. Did the level designers get lazy all of a sudden? They created the hospital level for you to meet Kate and created the inside of the boys' dormitory, but they couldn't create a new layout for the outside of the boys' dormitory? The game devs straight up became lazy and not a single person has called them out on it. This is something I thought was incredibly stupid even back when I recorded this back in June. So when Max and Chloe find evidence in Nathan's room and get ready to exit the boys' dorm, they run into Nathan. Instead of doing what any smart person would do if they had Max's powers, which would be to rewind to before Nathan walked into the dorm, warn Chloe, find a place to hide like the boys' bathroom or something, wait for him to pass by and enter his room, then sneak out of the boys' dormitory. But no, what does Max do instead? Max, being the fucking idiot that she is, just stands there like a deer in the headlights until Warren shows up out of nowhere to beat up Nathan. Also, if you try to rewind after this encounter, the game doesn't really allow you to do what I just suggested. At this point in writing the script, I have written 14 pages and I'm getting cancer.
Oh, look. The Wonder Twins. You have some serious lady balls. No. Jesus, okay.
Papadou spawns outside of Frank's trailer before getting shot by Chloe. This only occurs in the remastered version, meaning it's a bug that still to this day has not been fixed. I told you I wasn't letting Deck 9's laziness slip past me. Say hello to the game-breaking bug that literally stopped me from progressing through the game. After Max breaks open the lock to the hidden hatch inside the barn by pushing an old motor onto it, the game just spawns you to the ground. From this point on, you are not able to interact with anything even when you walk over to the hatch, meaning you can't progress through the game, meaning you are fucked. See, that's not what was supposed to happen. What was supposed to happen was that Max was supposed to manually climb down, then walk over to the hatch. But because you just spawned to the ground instead of climbing down manually, you are now stuck. The amount of times I have tried rewinding or restarting to the last checkpoint over and over and over again only for the same thing to happen is crazy. I have spent hours of my life literally just trying to get past this section. I was eventually able to get past this section, but I was seriously considering throwing in the towel on this Sims video on Life is Strange for the same reason I did so for Code Veronica X. The passcode to get into the dark room under the hidden hatch inside the abandoned barn is just to enter the number keys that are faded backwards. Max, your hands. When Chloe killed Frank, I chose not to rewind because this is the first time Chloe's been given some actual consequence outside of her getting slapped by her stepdad for smoking weed in her room, and her getting mad at you for it. When Max and Chloe get back to Chloe's room, I'm surprisingly agree with the 2 cutscenes of Chloe regretting what she's done and even going as far as to tell Max that she would turn herself in because she doesn't want to be a teenage fugitive on the run. See, that makes sense because Chloe's going through something that would change her as a person, right? Nope, the writers that don't not suddenly became lazy and just reversed the same garbage character. On top of that, after finding Rachel's dead body at the junkyard, Chloe now wants to pull up to the Vortex party to kill Nathan. What happened to not wanting to be a teenage fugitive on the run? I get that Chloe is all emotional over Rachel and whatnot and thinking that Nathan killed her, but please hear me out for a moment. Chloe went from accidentally killing her drug dealer and his dog to now wanting to intentionally take someone else's life, even if they did kill your friend. What is wrong with you, Chloe?
Of course, my object angel has stepped up every single time to protect me from the cruel world.
Why does Alyssa never question how Max always knows when something bad is about to happen to her? What the hell happened to this guy's feet?
Yo, Maximum Overdrive.
I have had it with these fucking nicknames. Maximum Overdrive? Justin, you have now lost your speaking privileges.
Excuse me, but I'm going in.
Sorry, but this is the VIP section.
Let's have this random NPC that blocks Max from entering the VIP section be voiced by Ashley Birch, the same person who voiced Chloe in this game. That won't be distracting. Also, in episode 3, while in the pool area of Chloe, there's a way for Max to add her name to the VIP list, but when you get to episode 4, her name will just not be on the VIP list. What kind of choice-based game forgets its own choices? People actually highly praise and defend this game, by the way.
Give me a break.
Oh, but it's fine when Chloe does it, right?
So the Vortex VIPs get real alcohol at their underage bar.
Blackwell's allowing underage students to drink alcohol at the Vortex party?
Real cute, Max. And after I apologized to you the other day.
You literally just threatened to take her off the VIP list.
Sorry, Max. Vortex Club members only.
Sorry, I'm on the guest list.
I'm taking you off.
Kate Marsh tried to kill herself in front of you.
That's not my fault, Max.
Yeah, Max, it wasn't my fault. All I did was record her having sex with a bunch of guys while she was drugged, post it on the internet, complete with slut shamer, and even go as far as to write the link on the bathroom mirror using lipstick. Wasn't my fault. Jefferson was somehow able to get to the junkyard before Max and Chloe, even though he was announcing the winner of the Everyday Heroes contest.
Is anybody out there? Please help!
Max, you and Chloe have been to the dark room last episode. You should know that you are currently locked under an abandoned barn in the middle of nowhere. No one's gonna hear your scream.
Oh shit. Jefferson kidnaps Victoria too? This is so bad.
I mean, you and Chloe did find an empty binder marked Victoria, and you even put the pieces together by saying that Nathan was planning to drug Victoria at the Vortex party. Victoria being in the dark room shouldn't really surprise you, even if you warned her at the Vortex party because you told her that Nathan was coming after her when it was in fact Jefferson. Okay, let's talk about Mark Jefferson for a moment. This guy has to be the weirdest and dumbest video game villain I have ever encountered when playing a video game. Outside of acting weird at the Vortex party, this guy becomes the villain almost completely out of left field at the end of episode 4, and his complete change in personality comes completely out of left field. I'm not kidding when I say the writers literally wrote a different character when it came to Mark Jefferson in episode 5. The man goes from talking like a normal art school teacher to now suddenly wanting to impersonate Batman. Also, you're not ready for this one. So the reason as to why Jefferson drugs and kidnaps girls, takes photos of them, possibly sexually assaults them, and sometimes kills them with an overdose is because he wants to perfect his skill in photography by his own words, capturing the moment of innocence turned into corruption. See, here's one of the goddamn Stephen King's novels list of reasons as to why Life is Strange is a flawed game. The writers just aren't smart and competent enough to compensate for the dark themes that this game presents. And so much stuff happens in this game to the point where it ends up falling over on his head like a newborn baby.
Chloe and Rachel. You killed both of them.
They're fucking together in heaven right now.
What the fuck? Life is Strange. Who wrote this shit? How does Max know that David knows the location of the abandoned farmhouse? Chloe doesn't seem to care about the fact that her girlfriend's dead. The red and white fog is only supposed to appear whenever Max is within a photo, but Max is not currently within a photo, so what's with the red and white fog? Did the level designers get lazy again and hope nobody would notice? Well, too bad for them, I exist.
I should have been more proactive about Kate Marsh and her awful situation.
While Max was traveling to this timeline, the little photos that shows us of events up said timeline changes from Kate almost jumping off a roof to the cops discovering Rachel's body. That pretty much implies that Kate attempting to jump off the roof of Blackwell didn't happen in this timeline. Why is Principal Wells commenting on events that didn't happen?
Whoa. Did you see how crazy it is outside?
How would she be able to see how crazy it is outside when she's kept hostage by you under an abandoned farmhouse in the middle of nowhere? How the hell did David find out about the dark room? Max tipping off David about the dark room under the abandoned farmhouse happened in a different timeline, and that timeline was when Max went to San Francisco with Principal Wells and Nathan and Jefferson were in jail. Saying that we're in a different timeline should mean that David finding this dark room should be impossible because Max never sent that text to David in this timeline. How the hell is a random psycho who fakes being an art school teacher to drug and kidnap girls able to go toe-to-toe with a combat veteran? And win?
You are not going to stop me!
What was the point in going for the tripod in the beginning if you secretly had a gun this entire time? Jefferson's character model looks wide awake even though he's supposed to be knocked out. This is definitely the funniest bug slash glitch I've encountered when playing the remastered version of this game, but it's still a bug that hasn't been fixed. Okay, so let's talk about David for a moment. Next to Kate and crippled Chloe, David is one of the few characters I actually don't mind too much. Sure, he may be a flawed person who stalks people to find out the truth and sometimes is mean to his stepdaughter, but he at least does care about her and the other students at Blackwell. Just look at how he reacts when you tell him that Chloe is dead. It's heartbreaking. Well, for David anyways. Fuck Chloe, all my homies hate Chloe. Where did Max get this jacket?
Do you have that photo you took last night in the parking lot?
Max is at an abandoned farmhouse in the middle of nowhere and still has enough signal to call Warren. Here's why having two romance options just doesn't work in this game. To me, Warren's romance path feels underdeveloped because he's not in the game all that much for his interactions that have a lot of emotional weight. He's not a well-written character, he's the type of guy that would ask where's my hug at, and you're never really given any indication that Max ever liked Warren in that way. That's why Max suddenly kissing Warren feels like it comes out of nowhere. It feels like Max suddenly developed feelings for Warren the second she entered the diner.
Jefferson kidnapped Rachel and some other girls. He was also manipulating Nathan and he killed him.
Then it's Jefferson's turn to die now.
Chloe!
When Max tries to explain to Chloe that Mark Jefferson was behind everything and not Nathan, Chloe still tries to leave and do her own thing anyway, despite knowing that her best friend has time powers and knows the outcome of their actions. This results in Max having to rewind over and over and over to convince this blue-haired moron to listen to her. How many times has Max saved Chloe's life in this game again? Also, even Max herself gets frustrated by how stupid Chloe is.
Man, she just won't listen. I better rewind and do over. In a few minutes, I won't know any of this happened. We absolutely have to stay in your room and do nothing.
Max just told Chloe that they need to stay in her room and do nothing. How the hell did they end up on the beach? Time for a nightmare section that blatantly rips off the Scarecrow nightmare sequence for Batman Arkham Asylum. Fuck it, can I just send that game instead?
Rachel not only gave great headshots, she gave great...
Yo, what the fuck?
I'm not into nerds, but you're pretty cute.
I'm not into Max anyway.
I only wanted to do the right thing. No, you only wanted to be popular. And once you got these amazing powers, your big plan was to trick people into thinking you give a rat's ass. I still have great friends. My power helped some. Please, stop playing innocent. She's my best friend. Oh yeah, you ignored your best friend for 5 years while she went through hell. Chloe does a better job of guilt-tripping me than you do, because you let her bully you. Max, do you really think she's our friend? That she respects us in any way? Man, you are so stupid.
Wow, everything that Nightmare Max just said is nothing but straight up facts. I can take off a few cents for that. Yes, a game, give me the fucking 360p resolution again. Gotta love how when taking a trip down memory lane, it shows most of the good memories Max had with Chloe, but almost none of the bad ones that happened immediately after. Here are a few examples of what I'm talking about. When it shows a shot of Max waking up from Chloe's lap after getting a nosebleed and passing out, the thing that comes to the front of my mind is Chloe trying to guilt trip Max into doing the very thing that caused her to get a nosebleed and passing out in the first place. Or when it shows a shot of Max and Chloe looking through encrypted files on the principal's computer, all I can think of is how Chloe selfishly and inconsiderately wants to steal money from the handicap fund just to pay off her debt and gets bummed out when Max tells her no.
You could use that photo to change everything right back to when you took that picture. All that would take is for me to...
Bet, say less. Now listen, Ashley Birch does a great job voice acting Chloe in this scene and all, but having Chloe metaphorically spill her guts out sorta comes out of the blue. There hasn't been any sort of character growth or anything that changed Chloe as a person. The closest thing we got was the 2 pieces of cutscenes in the aftermath of Chloe accidentally killing her drug dealer. And even then, the game just kinda forgets about it and reverses the same garbage character. That pretty much means that even after killing her drug dealer by accident, Chloe still hasn't changed in the slightest. She's still that same Chloe who gets mad at you for not risking your scholarship just so she can avoid a little trouble with her stepdad for something she did. She's still that same Chloe who gets mad at you for not giving you her undivided attention for a few seconds just to talk to a friend who's on the verge of suicide. She's still that same Chloe who tries to guilt trip you into doing more stuff after you just woke up from blacking out. She's still that same Chloe who wanted to steal money from the handicap fund just to pay off her debt and gets upset at you when you tell her no. She's still that same Chloe who thinks that everything revolves around her. She's still that same Chloe who literally tells you that you bailed on her like you deliberately moved away after using your real power to save her life twice. She's still that same Chloe who blames everybody for her fucking problems and makes no attempt at self-improvement. She's still that same Chloe who's needlessly judgmental. She's still that same Chloe who's ungrateful and selfish. She's still that same Chloe who's disrespectful to her mother, and the only fun you and her have together is when she tells you to do shit. The only reason Chloe acts like this in the final cutscene of the game is because the scene simply called for it. And given the amount of shit I just listed, I can't get emotional over this scene. I felt indifferent the entire time, just cold dead nothing. I know because my opinion about this game and Chloe that was formed into 20 pages, that I'm going to piss off a lot of people and see some unhappy English essay long comments that I probably won't bother to read if they're too long. But let me ask something. Is your friendship with your best friend like this? Are you in a possible relationship with someone who does stuff and acts like this towards you and people around them? Because if so, I'd consider cutting that person out of your life entirely.
Nobody would ever even miss your punk ass, would they?
Get that gun away from me, psycho!
Chloe and Rachel. You killed both of them.
They're fucking together in heaven right now.